Hey everybody, Gail here. So last winter, I had the great honor, privilege to host Michelle Nelson Schmidt for some author visits. And in addition to getting to see her do her author visits at a school, which is just amazing, kids were so enthusiastic and excited, and teachers were crying and motivated. It was just an amazing experience. But in addition to that, I also drove her kind of all over the state of Colorado and got to spend hours with her, picking her brain, listening to her story, and just find her to be an incredibly inspirational person. And I love her books because the characters are so inspirational. So I'm going to use them for my message today. Let's start with Jonathan James and the What If Monster. Hopefully this book came in your packet or you had the opportunity to get it. And I think it's a great book for kids, but it's also a great book for adults because it speaks to us about our own what ifs. So throughout this talk today, I'm going to talk to you about her characters and ask you to think about which ones you identify with. We have the What If Monster. This is kind of that negative person who is always pointing out what's going to go wrong and has a really hard time getting out of that space in their head. Jonathan James certainly has the what ifs in his head, but he's able to overcome them and think about the positive side because, let's face it, there are lots of things in our life that are scary or unknown, or we tried them once and it didn't go well. And so we have to be strong like Jonathan James. So think about it a little bit. If you kind of get stuck in that what if place, or if you're Jonathan James and you have those voices, but you're able to get over them. Her next book, Bob is the Unicorn. So Bob is obviously somebody who believes strongly in being himself and doesn't really care so much what other people think. But of course, he's really happy and grateful when he finds somebody who also appreciates his imagination and individuality and all of that. I probably don't identify too much with Bob. I don't like to stick out. That's just not my personality. I like to be kind of behind the scenes. But if you are Bob, that's a great thing and something that I think you could utilize a lot in this business. Dog and Mouse is another great book. Dog is searching for his new best friend. And Mouse decides that he wants to come along for the journey and goes with him high and low as they search for Dog's new friend. And by the end, Dog finally realizes, hey, my friend has been here with me all along. So Dog, I see as a person who, is always looking for something bigger or better and doesn't quite realize what they have in front of them. So I think it's important for us to not be like Dog, or at least be able to catch ourselves and remember the great things that we have in our life and the great support that we have. Mouse, I totally identify with. I think I'm a mouse. I love to support people, and I don't need a whole lot of recognition for that support. I just love to be a good friend and help people succeed in their life. So you may identify with these characters as well. I bring this up because I think an important piece of our business is recognizing our strengths and then building upon those. So your strengths can have to do with your personality. If you've done our colors training, then you know those different personalities and how they're helpful in this business. You may be outgoing, you may be really caring, you may be really organized. Those are all things that help you in this business. We also have skills throughout our life, in our careers, what we've studied. we have different skills that we bring to this business. Again, it could just be being organized. Maybe we've done a lot of events before. Maybe we've done some fundraising or have been a salesperson at a restaurant or a retail place. All of that can be applicable to this business. And it's important to remember all of those things and then figure out how it will help us be successful. We have our experiences as well, things that we have been through that are related or similar that we bring to the business. Perhaps you worked at a different direct sales company and you bring that with you. And then we have our connections. So we've got our family, our friends, the people we've worked with, our communities, and they can be really helpful in getting our business up and going and continuing to support us. So we start off and we have this comfort zone, and it's really great, I think, to start in this comfort zone when we're beginning and then slowly figure out which pieces we need to add to expand our comfort zone. And I know there was so much about this business that was really uncomfortable for me, and I have grown so much. Some of the things I do now are still sometimes kind of intimidating or scary, but so much of it now is just kind of a day-to-day part of my business. Picking up the phone and calling people and not feeling like I'm pushy, but realizing I have something great to offer to them. Being able to walk into a preschool and see if they want to have a book fair just kind of comes naturally to me, but was terrifying the first few times I did it. I've made presentations to Rotary clubs and at our regionals, and that is one of my biggest fears, but I've come a long way in being able to do that. And even doing these videos is something that I have to really push myself to be comfortable doing. So think about just one thing that would help make your business better if you could expand your comfort zone and just try doing it again and see where it takes you. I think the last piece I want to mention when we're talking about doing our best is that lots of times we're going to have failures and we're going to have events that flop. We're going to have hostesses that don't do anything that we want them to. You name it, it's probably going to happen. And so it's important for us, if you watch Beth's video, to think about what did go well and build on that. And then think about what one thing could you maybe tweak and do a little bit better. And you really have to be pretty brutally honest with yourselves, because sometimes, for sure, things are out of your control, but usually there's something that you could have done a little bit better and that you will continue to be better at. And I promise you that your business will grow and your sales will go up. You'll book more parties and they will be more successful. So I hope that's helpful. I hope you have a great weekend, and I look forward to hearing about how you're doing your best. Thanks.